and my friend drank out of that puddle I was talking about because they were very thirsty. And later I realized I had water in my backpack, but it was in the other section, so I didn't realize it. Hey Foxes, and welcome to another Storytime video. So I want to make sure in my last section of videos that I got like one of most of the type, so I definitely had to make sure to do a story time, and oh, do I have a story. It's full of very odd things that happened in one day after school. So this is how it goes. I start off by heading home from school. I'm going to meet up my friend at the local park kind of area. It really is a school, but everyone uses that as its playground. So I walked there when they went to their house to pick up their stuff and then drop off their stuff, eat, and then come back. And this place is not very far from my school. So I'm just playing Pokemon Go, waiting for them. It's very cold outside, by the way, which I was not expecting. I only had the outer shell of my jacket on, so it was kind of cold for me. But I got lots of Pokestops because it's very close to a Pokestop full area. And when they finally said they were almost there, I walked in and we were the only people there. It was just after school. I already saw a few people from my school. They asked me, like, are you walking home? I said, no, I'm going to the school. I'm going to the other school. And they're like, okay. So we're there. And then out of nowhere, these two kids show up and we're like, okay, there's only two of them. And we keep hearing them say, where's the other people? And then we're like, and then we realize there's 18, not really 18, but like 8 other people that show up. 8 other kids. And they called like our flag disrespectful. It was very upsetting. So they were there while we were doing, like, throwing random things into the air like this. And they were all like, what are you doing? And we're like, throwing random things in the air. What do you think? And it was okay. They were a little weird, though. They kicked a soccer ball into a puddle, which comes back into the story later, trust me. So finally they leave. That was a relief. They were all going to one of their friends' houses. So now we're the only people there. About 15 minutes later, 3 people that I told you that I ran into earlier show up. They, out of nowhere, they're there, and I'm like, stalkers. And they were just on the playground for a long time with us, and there's this huge dirt hill. It's like ginormous, and yeah, it's a big dirt hill, so we would like run up it and run off of it. My Vans got very dirty. Luckily I cleaned them. I don't know why I was wearing Vans when I should have wore tennis shoes, but I actually didn't know I was going to go there until that day. So they were there for a long time. It was just kind of weird running into them after I told them where I was going. Stalking, question mark? Yeah, stalking. So they leave eventually too. So we're like, okay, we're going to be the only people now. But behold, the metal detector club comes. The metal detector club. I mean, this metal detector. Not that exact one, but it's a metal detector club. Literally, they would hide pennies, go inside, and then get their metal detector to find the pennies. It was the metal detector club. And they kicked us off. They were like, we have this area reserved till 6. And it was like 3. And it was a half day. That's why I got out of school so early. So we walked all the way to the other side because there was a smaller playground. And then we just waited there. And finally they leave. So we sneak through, get in there again. They come back, but that's not important. Before that, somehow I'm on top of the hill. And I see a car that looks exactly like my dad's car. And I'm like, no way, that can't be my dad's car. And then it turns around, I see its license plate. I'm like, that's 100% my dad's car. And notice I was on the big dirt hill and the car was at least 50 yards away. I mean, it was a far ways away. And I realized my phone died. My dad has been texting me, like, where are you? Where are you? I'm like, oh. Because I go on my friend's phone, I call him, I'm like, did you just show up to the school? And he's like, yeah. Is their friend's mom picking you up? And I said, yeah. And they're like, okay, you gotta tell me these things. So yeah, that happened. And the Metal Detector Club comes back, as expected. We didn't actually know they were going to, but they did. So we ice cream, which is a really good place, and they have lots of ice cream, so it's really good. And we had ice cream there. It was actually better than I expected for being so cheap, but don't underestimate the power of ice cream. So at this point, we go back. They're not there anymore. Basically, no one else shows up, I believe. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, someone else showed up. I knew I was missing someone. So we're on top of the hill, and suddenly I see two people riding on their bikes. I'm like, okay, probably some other random kids. But I see one of the person's hair, and I'm like, that looks a lot like my cousin. They keep riding, and I see their face. I'm like, my cousin? Why is my cousin here? Turns out my cousin showed up too. At the school. It was crazy. I was so confused. They were like, oh, we're just biking here. And notice it was like 4 p.m. Like way after school got out. So no idea why they came. But I mean, it was pretty cool. Weird though. Because they saw me on the dirt hill. They're like, and I'm like, it's the dirt hill. And that is everyone that showed up. Really, that is what happened. I just thought it was a weird story and kind of funny that so many random people showed up to this school on a random day. That we got kicked off by the Metal Detector Club. And the Metal Detector Club actually made worm soup. They just put a bunch of water into worms. It rained that day, so we actually did get rained out on the dirt hill. Like, if it's gonna rain, don't go on a dirt hill because it'll get muddy and you'll fall. I didn't actually fall, but my shoes were covered in mud. And then I'm trying to think of the word. We seeked shelter under the play structure. And it stopped after a while, so it wasn't a bad time, but it was a weird time for sure. We went to get pizza after, and my friend drank out of that puddle I was talking about because they were very thirsty. And later I realized I had water in my backpack, but it was in the other section, so I didn't realize it. And then I felt really bad because they drank out of a puddle first. Then we got to eat pizza and we got water there, so they had to drink out of no more puddles. Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see. So, anyway, Foxes, this is going to be the last story time of Fantastic Fox Vlogs. Just to remind you, my channel's name will be changing to Davis's High School Life around June 20th. I'm going to be doing a live stream my last day of school. So, not of school, obviously, but it's a half day, so it'll be like just the fun I have that day. And then I probably won't see you till like maybe the end of June because I might want to post a little update video. But I have like 400 videos on my channel, so you can catch up. Davis's High School Life, future channel. I'll be adding the banner and everything. And if you ever want to contact me, I will still answer the comments on this channel because I still get notifications. It's not like I have to search through every single video for comments. That'd be crazy. So anyway, Foxes, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. Bye, Foxes.